Hello, everybody. Welcome to this test video to go through the process of how this Razz will work. It's John Comey. Most people just call me Comey because there's too many Johns. I'm going to walk you through the process, and and also those of you who haven't seen Out of the Park, you get a chance to see it today. This video will probably be a little longer because I'll set up the file at least like to get ready, like, probably beforehand, and have the random stuff. Like, I have that up. So we'll just go through the process. Now I'm using the Mac, which I have a laptop as well, an HP that gets the job done. But I want to see how fast it goes with the Mac. So I'm just gonna give it a shot, and we'll see. So like the first thing with the randoms, of course, you roll the dice. So I'd be doing 9 times on the random. So I go. This is the list as of last night. This is not the complete list. A couple more been added since then. So I have to add it to that. Using different things here. So which there won't be this many gaps in the future. So we're rolling what? We're rolling 9 times. All right. Oh, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we'll be going from Nick at the top all the way down to Grant at the bottom, which it's going to take the numbers too, which on the PC it doesn't do that, but that's okay, just something to learn. And so I would go and paste it in. I'm not going to do that here. Oh, good. It didn't do that. Okay. It didn't take the numbers, which is good. And then go through, do the same thing. Let's just say I did it 9 times. Okay. So let's just say for the sake of just cutting down, I just did it 9 times. So I'll be going, I can also do it in here too, where it just randomized the range. So I'll just do it there. So we'll be doing Chris with the Reds down to Chris Koch with the Phillies. And so you would have your team, and then so like everything runs the same. And then we go into Out of the Park. I'm gonna hit new standard game. I'm not doing challenge mode because if I do that, it goes crazy at that point. Like in terms of having to oversee the team. I'm only gonna do Major League Baseball. I will name it, in this case, Event 1. What is today? Today's the 5th, and I'm doing this as a test. So I'll name all of these. So if you ever have Out of the Park and you want the file, like I'll supply you the file. I can upload this stuff up to the interwebs. I have to get space for that, but I could do that. So we'll start the game. And we'll just see how long this takes. I mean, this is running the M1 Mac Mini, so my guess is it's reasonably quick. I haven't used it that much. I should start using it more, but I haven't. So, all right, the league is created, just getting the logos and stuff. Now, one of the things that I've had difficulty with, I'm going to play in commish mode. I don't care about anything else. Commish mode means, that nobody's running the team. Yes, I understand salaries are not total. Now, one of the things that I've wrestled with, and I would want some feedback on, is the injury settings. Like, should I do everything normal for Out of the Park? Because injury settings, that can impact stuff too. I could set on low. What I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule the fantasy draft. What that does is that's going to kick everybody off their teams and put them into a random, into a draft pool. See, it's set up here, inaugural draft. And, I can do, I could actually random the order, although the way it just comes up in the game, that's also a thing, but I could do it. 9 times for the sake of that. For the video, I won't do that, but I could do that in the future. Like, I could do it for that. So in this case, the Rays have the first pick down to the Cubs. And this could be also the other thing to talk about here is it going to be a straight draft or a serpentine draft? Like, that's something in this case is going to be a serpentine draft, which is probably the fair thing to do. Why there's that many rounds? We don't need that many rounds. We'll go with 40 to the basic draft order. Okay, we'll just see how fast it goes on 252 rounds. Is there a basic draft order? That is kind of curious to me. Okay. We'll just do it. And we'll just see what happens. So I'll start the draft, and then I'm just going to go to auto draft complete, although I guess I could show the first round and then go from there. So we'll auto draft the current round. We'll see what happens. And we'll see who got drafted. So the Reds took Trout, Tatis went second, Acuna went third, DeGrom went fourth, Scherzer, Giolito went sixth, Garrett Cole, Bellinger, Soto, and on down to Christian Yelich getting taken by the Diamondbacks with their first round pick. I don't know how static this is. I don't think it's very static because teams are going to have different financial stuff and different methods for building their team. So at least, we could see the first round, and then we'll go ahead and we'll auto draft. On the HP, this is moving faster than the HP, and that the HP is a what is it? An Envy or something? I don't know. It's pretty high powered. I got it last year for distance learning, and then also where I was starting to put together some videos and hopefully playing some games on it, and it actually works all right. But this is a very heavy load program, as you saw with 252 rounds. It did handle the M1 handled the draft pretty quickly. So we have the draft done. Now what I can do after that is go through and show you, or at least show people who are live, show you what you have. And we can do it through overall. So, Ozzy Albies is the top player for Arizona with Charlie Morton. Atlanta has Josh Bell, Will Smith, Trevor Story, Jonathan VR. I can change the ratings to like a 2080 system, even for the overall potential. I just haven't done it. Don't know if I'll do it. Tatis, Hyun-Jin Ryu, Joey Gallo, Gavin Lux. It's not a bad team. But I feel like the best way to do this after the fact is go to play and then go to opening day and play out opening day. Now, I haven't changed anything with the injuries in this regard. I'm just going to let it run there. But I go to the season start. The other thing I want to make sure I do is go in to global settings. I just want to look where I'm saving the file. I'm going to do that on a monthly basis. Just a question of where that is. Because there's so many things in here that I don't. Oh, autosave. Yep, that's what I thought. Once a month. I'm going to save once a month, just to help safeguard if there's a crash for whatever reason. I've not had one happen in a few versions, but you never know. It could happen. So I'm on once a month. And now what I'll do is I'll go to reports and info, and I'm going to go to preseason predictions. Now, when I ran this on the PC last night, I got thrown out pretty quickly due to injuries, which made me think about maybe I want to play around with the injuries to try and, you know, I don't know. I'm not sure how I'll want to do that. There's a lot of random happening. So looking at the predictions here, the Orioles, like the AL East, is hot garbage. Uh, the overall favorites at this point look like the Rangers and the Brewers, who are projected to win 99 games. Last night on the PC, when I did this before I completely crashed, everybody, I think the overall favorite had 88. Like it was a very parity based system. But then injuries really threw things out right away. So the A's, the Indians, not looking good for this one. Cubs not looking so great. But you get an idea of like who's on what team, and who the top hitters could be. Uh, Bieber in Colorado would be interesting. That'll to see how well he does there. Um, so like this is where I could spend upwards of 10 minutes just going through stuff, and then we start playing. Now I'm just going to go ahead and play right till the playoffs begin. I could stop it in September and get an idea where things are. As you see, it moves pretty quick here. Just with stopping for saving. But we'll see. The Red Sox are off to a really good start. The Royals are doing all right. The Rangers, who were supposed to win 96, they're in fourth place right now. Brewers are rolling, doing very well. The Phillies are doing quite well. The Rockies, not so hot at the moment. But this is stuff, I can stop at any point for, check out some emergence, check out things that happen. Like I can cut into if there's a no-hitter brewing. Like I can do all sorts of stuff with this if I want to. And, like that is something that we can talk about before a stream happens. That there's just all different things that we can do. So, if I'm looking at the player rankings at the moment, seeing like who's doing quite well. Oh, well, DeGrom not winning, that's not a shock. But I'm always happy to do that. Like again, this is something that you can watch in real time. You can watch after the fact. You don't have to watch it at all. You don't have to do anything. I'm going to go ahead and go to September 1st, but you don't have to do a thing with regards to any part of this. Like if you just want to be part of the card part, that is totally fine. Again, this is just the crazy idea that it's not that crazy, I guess. It's just the idea that I want to try. And it seems like some of you guys do too, which is cool. Justin Meadows, good Lord, that's where my eyes are today. Austin Meadows, holy cow, is hitting the snot out of the ball, it looks like, with a 1.071 OPS. Lindor not doing his what he's doing with the Mets. We're coming up on the trade deadline. I do have trades implemented, so there are teams that could catch a break at the trade deadline. Texas and Toronto have made a trade. Texas really trying to make a push. They are within a game now and surging. That is another thing. I could check at the trade deadline to see what trades were made, see what could impact the races. Pete Alonso is just crushing the ball. My goodness. All right, we're at September 1st. That moved pretty quick. Take a quick look at the standings, see where things are. There's also, I have to go forward a day, I believe. Oh, Pennant Chase, there it is. Pennant Chase is pretty cool. This shows you each race. The Red Sox, the Yankees were not supposed to be that great, but we have a Yankees Red Sox race, game and a half there, and it shows you the the key games they have coming up. Here we have White Sox ahead of the Tigers and Royals. Um, Rangers have taken control in the West, so I guess they surged ahead and that trade has worked out. And then you get to the wild card. Red Sox in pretty decent control of the first wild card, but it's the Mariners, the A's, the Tigers, the Royals, the Rays are kind of there. The AL looking all right so far. The Phillies in firm control of the NL East over the Braves, who have a losing record. Brewers, Pirates, and Reds battling out in the Central. Out West, Giants are up by a half game on the Dodgers. And then the wild card, that's looking like a decent race, especially for the second wild card spot. Although I guess the first wild card spot is up for grabs too. So that's looking good. And then this is just where I can go week by week. Probably takes a good 10 seconds, not even, to play out a week. Or I could just go to the playoffs, which is I'm going to do here. So it's looking like, at least on the Mac, the sim speed is very fast, which is good. Bo Bichette leads the major leagues in RBIs. That's something to check out. That's very interesting. The Red Sox did win the AL East by 4 games over the Yankees. For this, I'll just go back to the standings. White Sox by 5 over the Royals. The Rangers did hold out over the Mariners, and the Yankees and Mariners do get the wild card. The Phillies are over 7 games over. It looks like they the Nationals kind of picked it up there at the end. Then Brewers over Pirates and Reds. And Giants and Dodgers are tied, which is interesting. There is still a day to go, so there's nothing really settled here yet. Let's go ahead and play this day out and see what happens. Okay, so Giants did take it over the Dodgers, and the Pirates and the Dodgers get in a game over the Cubs. All right, so the playoffs are set. We go to the playoff coverage. We go to the playoff tree. Dodgers, Pirates, Mariners, Yankees. Winner will play the Red Sox. Then you get this White Sox, Rangers over here. The Phillies await the Dodgers and Pirates, and then the Giants and Brewers in the other series. So there we go. One of the things about Zoom, which is just I got to move that screen. So I'll simulate to the end of the next playoff round. And Yankees and Dodgers won their games. So we'll go ahead. We'll go to the next playoff round and we'll see how this unfolds. Red Sox are winning. Rangers, Dodgers did manage to beat the Phillies. More playoff failure for the Phillies outside of 08. Used to that. And the Brewers. So Red Sox, Rangers, Dodgers, Brewers. Now, some other Razz prizes I was thinking about doing here are doing prizes for MVPs, for Cy Young winners, for any worst of first in the preseason predictions. So, for instance, if as the World Series shows Red Sox Dodgers, if I were to go to the preseason predictions and take a look here, if anybody went worst to first, it's not looking like anybody would pick that up, but that could be something for the future. Yeah, nobody picked that up here. But that is also something to consider. And that could just be like a random, I don't know. That could just be something I pick up and put off to the side. So, and then obviously like MVPs and stuff, that comes after the season. So I'd have to simulate a little bit further ahead. Let's just go to the playoffs and see who wins. The Dodgers 1-4. Holy cow, they got hot. So who did they have? They just smoked the Sox. Um, so who did they have on their roster? I'm kind of curious. So they're pitching. They had Garrett Cole, Lance McCullers, Stroman, Plesac and Davies, Tanner Rainey, who didn't pitch that much. What's this kid's story? He came up. Oh, he was brought in. No, I guess he was a guy, Kansas City. Um, he just, I don't know, where's the saves? He only had 3 saves. I guess oh, that's Rosenthal. That's what I get. Click on Rainey now. Yeah, he was a minor league guy. Came up, looked like he pitched pretty well, 81 strikeouts in 55 innings, only 34 hits. Yeah, not bad for Tanner Rainey. And he was somebody who was he was not in the Dodgers system. He was in the national system. So I guess doing the minor leaguers the same, like just doing the full draft probably makes the most sense. Their lineups, what did they have? Victor Robles, Francisco Mejia was their 3rd hitter. Oh, I just took him out. I didn't mean to do that. I can click. I can really click. This is just, I wonder what their injuries look like. Yeah, probably not great if Mejia was hitting 3rd on this team. We go to the transactions. They're disabled list. They don't have anybody on it, but how the hell did they win? I'm guessing they won because of defense. Just getting there is like getting it with Max Kepler hitting 4th. That is that's amazing that they got that hot down the stretch. Just to kind of look at what happened. I'm just going long at this stage. But they're let's see. I mean, that's what they came out with. They only had 5 hits. They won 3-1 behind Davies, who went 8 2/3, 3 hits, 5 strikeouts. One thing I didn't mention that I can do also for the immersion factor is highlight cannot be loaded. Oh, well, that's probably my fault. But you can go through and watch the highlights of games. And I was thinking of doing it for the World Series. I didn't do it here, apparently, because I didn't do the settings, which I don't even know where that is now. So, oh, it's here. Generate highlights for human teams. So I'd have to do it for all the teams, which is fine. I can set it up with settings. Like I could just set up a quick start to do this, or I could just try and remember to do it each time, which would be fine too. Yeah, it's all set up for human teams. So, okay. So anyway, that's a season. It really didn't take long to sim through the season. And then everything else is just, the immersion factor going through. Miguel Sano hit 53 homers. Michael Brantley led the league with a 340 mark. Trout, 1.052 OPS, hitting 297 with 42 homers. 149 walks. Still had more walks than strikeouts. Strike out 147 times, which is pretty remarkable. But I can go as deep as people want me to go, and go as long. Honestly, I can go as long as people want. Like that's really, I don't care. This is for me and anybody who wants to do it. And then the videos will go up on YouTube, Facebook. Like they'll go up. I'll probably make a dedicated playlist on my YouTube, which is primarily concert videos, perfect draft videos, and then some basketball games I played in a few years ago. So anyway, that is how this process would work. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative. I It does go pretty quickly. I'll be curious to see how long this video goes when I'm done sharing and recording and stuff and just done talking. But it went pretty quick. Now, again, this is on the M1. It would be a little bit longer on the HP, but the only reason I wouldn't do it on the M1, I think, at this point is if I had that at school. Like if I was doing something, I'm trying to get a content club, and I would probably have the M1 there for that. I don't know, hooked up to my smartboard. So anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, as always, please reach out. I will be happy to answer anything. And this is a learning experience for everybody as we go forward. What it looks like now might not be the way it looks like in a few events. There will also be other games. Wolverine has basketball games. They have football games. I'm not really in love with those games. I don't own them. I have the basketball games, but I don't have the football games. So that's a hurdle because I don't know if I want to spend the money on getting it. But I will if that's a thing. They're not as in depth as this. So anyway, that's the video. Again, hope you enjoyed. Any questions, let me know, and I will talk to you soon.